Welcome. Lesson 7, The Girl Who Was Anne Frank, Part 2, Question Answer, 10th Standard. As per 2024-2025 Karnataka State Board Syllabus, English First Language, Part 2. Glossary. Nazi Party means the political party led by Adolf Hitler, which controlled Germany from 1933 to 1945. The concentration camp. A prison consisting of a set of buildings inside a fence where political prisoners were kept in a very bad conditions. Decree, an order having the force of law. Immigrate, to leave the country permanently and go to live in another. Derelict, in bad condition. Annex means a wing added to a building. Deportation means forcing to leave the country. Cramped means not having enough space. Narrow. Tenuous means so light that it hardly exists. Inevitable means certain to happen. Adolescence means the period of time in a person's life when he or she is developing into an adult. Tartan means woolen cloth with a woven pattern of straight lines of different colors crossing at right angles. Ecstasy means a state of extreme happiness. Rapper, rapturous means expressing great delight. Grumpy means bad tempered. Grumpy means bad tempered. Racked means caused to suffer. Authenticity means genuineness, truthfulness. Exquisitive. Exquisite means delicate. Anonymously means unidentified. Ominous means threatening. Jackboot means a long boot which covers the leg up to knee. Epilogue means concluding speech. Remorse means shame. Denunciation means condemnation. Indictment means accusation. Viciousness means cruelty and violence. Viciousness means cruelty and violence. Persecution means treating somebody in a cruel way. Vestigious means traces. Anti Semitism means hatred, cruel treatment of Jewish people. Second main comprehension questions. A. Answer briefly the following questions. 1. Why does the professor say, I have read Anne Frank's diary? The professor's statement, I have read Anne Frank's diary, often signifies the importance and impact of Anne Frank's work on readers. By sharing their personal experience of reading the diary, the professor is likely emphasizing the significance of Anne Frank's story and its powerful portrayal of the human experience during the Holocaust. It helps in establishing a connection between the audience and the subject matter, proving that the diary is more than just a historical document. It's a deeply personal account that resonates with readers. 2. What does his statement imply? When the professor says, I have read Anne Frank's diary, it implies a few key points. First one is personal engagement. The professor has personally engaged with Anne Frank's story, highlighting its impact on them. It emphasizes that diary is a significant and influential work that touches readers on a personal level. Two is incredibility. The statement lends credibility to the professor's discussion about Anne Frank and the historical context of her diary. It shows that they have first hand knowledge and experience with the text. Third point, empathy and understanding. By mentioning that they have read the diary, the professor is likely expressing a sense of empathy and understanding for Anne Frank's experiences. It indicates that they recognize the emotional and historical weight of her account. Fourth, invitation to explore. The statement serves as an invitation for others to read the diary as well. It suggests that the diary is a valuable and meaningful read, encouraging students or listeners to explore it themselves. Third, what was Anne's father? Anne Frank's father was Otto Frank. He was born on May 12, 1989, in Frankfurt, Germany. Otto Frank was a businessman and served in Imperial German army during the World War I. He later became known for his efforts to preserve and publish Anne Frank's diary, which he edited and published as The Diary of a Young Girl in 1947. Otto Frank was only member of the Frank family to survive the Holocaust, and he dedicated much of his life to sharing Anne's story and promoting her legacy. 4. Give any one example to prove the popularity of Anne Frank's diary. One compelling example of the popularity of Anne Frank's diary is its translation into numerous languages. Since its original publication in 1947, the Diary of a Young Girl has been translated into more than 70 languages, reaching a global audience. This widespread translation effort showcases the universal appeal and the significance of Anne Frank's story, as well as its profound impact on readers from diverse cultural and linguistic backgrounds. Fifth A. Name the members of Mr. Otto Frank's family. Mr. Otto Frank's immediate family included: first one is Edith Frank, his wife, born Edith Hollander. Two, Margot Frank, his elder daughter, born in 1926. Third one is Anne Frank, his younger daughter, born in 1929. B. What impression did people have about Anne? Most people had impression that Anne Frank was a lively, talkative, and curious young girl. She was often seen as spontaneous and sometimes even a bit rebellious. Her teachers and peers noticed her intelligence and her strong personality. However, compared to her elder sister Marga, who was considered more reserved and academically promising, Anne was not always viewed as a brilliant student. 6. Why did Otto Frank decide to migrate to Netherlands? Give two reasons. Otto Frank decided to migrate to Netherlands for two main reasons. First one is escaping Nazi persecution. With the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime in Germany, anti-Jewish decrees and persecution were escalating. Otto Frank sought to protect his family from the increasing dangers faced by Jews in Germany. Two, opportunities in the Netherlands. The Netherlands was seen as a more hospitable and safer place for Jews at the time. Additionally, Otto Frank found an opportunity to start a small firm in Amsterdam, which provided a means to support his family. 7. Who was Mr. Van Dorn? Mr. Van Dorn, whose real name was Herman Van Pelt, was one of the people who went into hiding with Anne Frank and her family. He was a business associate of Otto Frank, Anne's father. Van Pelt's family, including Mr. Van Dorn, his wife Auguste, referred to as Mrs. Van Dorn in the diary, and their son Peter, joined the Franks in a secret annex in Amsterdam to escape Nazi persecution during World War II. Mr. Van Dorn is often described as intelligent and knowledgeable, but he also had a difficult personality and frequently argued with his wife. Despite these challenges, he played a crucial role in the group's survival by helping with various tasks and sharing his insights. 8. What qualities of Mr. Frank did his staff admire? Mr. Frank's staff admired several qualities in him. Warm personality. He was known for his kind and approachable nature, which made him well liked by those who worked with him. Courage. His bravery in face of adversity, especially during the difficult time of hiding, was highly respected. Dedication to family. He took great care to ensure his daughters received a good education and upbringing, even under challenging circumstances. 9. Paragraph 7 refers to a lucky fact. What was that lucky fact? In the context of discussions around Anne Frank's story, the lucky fact often refers to a fortunate circumstance that allowed Anne's diary to be preserved. Specifically, the lucky fact is that Maya Gies, one of the helpers who supported the families in hiding, found Anne's diary after the Frank's family was arrested. She kept the diary safe and later gave it to Otto Frank. Anne's father, after he was liberated, his act ensured that Anne's poignant and powerful writings survived to be shared with the world. 10. What finally forced Frank to go into hiding? The final event that forced Otto Frank and his family to go in hiding was when his elder daughter, Marga Frank, received a call up notice for deportation to a Nazi labor camp in early July 1942. This alarming development made it clear that the family was in immediate danger, promoting them to move into their prepared hiding place, the secret annex, to avoid being captured by the Nazis. 11. Where did Otto Frank and others hide themselves in? Otto Frank and others hid in a secret annex located in the building where Otto Frank's business was situated. The annex was a concealed area behind a movable bookcase at Prince Prinsengracht 263 in Amsterdam. This hidden space became their refuge during World War II as they tried to escape Nazi persecution. 12. In all, how many people managed to hide in Annexe? Who were they? In total of 8 people managed to hide in secret annex. There were first one is Otto Frank, Anne's father. Second, Edith Frank, Anne's mother. Margot Frank, Anne's elder sister. Anne Frank, the diarist. Fifth one is Herman Van Pels, refers to as Mr. Van Dorn in the diary. Sixth is Auguste Van Pels, refers to as the Mrs. Van Dorn in the diary. Seventh one is the Peter Van Pels, their son referred to as the Peter in the diary. Eighth is the Fritz Pfeffer, a dentist who referred to as the Master Dussel in diary. 13. What helped the hiding party to establish contact with outside world? The hiding party in the secret annex established contact with the outside world through a few key means. First one is helpers. 4 courageous staff members of the Otto Frank, including Maggie and Pep Oskusel, played a crucial role. They brought food, magazines, books, and other necessities to the people in hiding. Two is radio. The radio was an essential link to the outside world. The hiding party listened to broadcast from the BBC and Radio Orange, which provided them with the news and updates about the war and the situation outside. 14. What did Anne Frank record in her diary? Anne Frank's diary, the diary of a young girl, records her experiences, thoughts, and feelings while she and her family were in hiding during the Nazi occupation of Netherlands. The diary includes first one is daily life in hiding and describes the challenges and routines of living in secret annex, including the relationships and tensions among the 8 people in hiding. 2. Personal reflections. She shares her innermost thoughts, fears, hopes, and dreams, providing a deeply personal perspective on her experiences. Third one, historical context. Anne writes about the events of the World War II and the impact of the Nazi regime on Jews, offering a first hand account of the horrors of the Holocaust. Fourth is growth and maturity. Throughout the diary, Anne's writing evolves, reflecting her growth from a young girl into a thoughtful and introspective teenager. 15. How did Anne compare herself to a songbird? Anne Frank often compared herself to a songbird that was trapped in a cage. This metaphor captured her feelings of confinement and longing for freedom while living in a secret annex. Just as a singbird yearns to fly freely and sing without restrictions, Anne felt trapped and restricted by circumstances of hiding from Nazis. Despite the confinement, she expressed her thoughts, emotions, and dreams through her writing, much like a songbird singing even while caged. 16. What does the Anne reveal about her mother in the diary? In her diary, Anne Frank reveals her complex and often strained relationship with her mother, Edith Frank. Anne felt that her mother did not understand her and that there was a significant emotional distance between them. She often expressed frustration and disappointment with her mother's inability to connect with her on a deeper level. Despite these feelings, there were moments when Anne showed empathy and recognized her mother's efforts, but overall, their relationship was marked by tension and misunderstandings. 17. How does Anne try to keep the diary secret? Anne Frank, in her famous diary, The Diary of a Young Girl, took several precautions to ensure the secrecy of her writing and the safety of her family. Here are some key points. First one is hidden location. Anne wrote her diary while hiding in a secret annex of her father's office building in Amsterdam during World War II. The annex was carefully concealed behind a movable bookcase. Two is limited access. Only a few trusted individuals were aware of the Frank family's hiding place. These helpers provided them with food supplies and news from the outside world. Read excuse. The family is in hiding. The Franks and the Van Pels maintained complete silence during the day to avoid detection by the workers in the building, and often had to write quietly and discreetly. Fourth is code names. In her diary, Anne used code names for the people to protect their identities and maintain an additional layer of secrecy. Ultimately, the diary remained hidden until it was discovered after the Frank family was arrested. Anne's father, Otto Frank, later decided to publish it, sharing Anne's poignant and powerful words with the world. 18. Pick out from the paragraph 16 two examples of the inhuman treatment of the Jews by the Nazis. In Anne Frank's diary, she describes the brutal and dehumanizing conditions Jews faced, such as being forced into hiding to avoid arrest and deportation to concentration camps where they endured unimaginable suffering and death. The constant fear and persecution they experienced highlight the extreme cruelty of the Nazi regime. In September, as the Allied armies advanced towards the Netherlands, Franks, Van Dans, and the dentist were transported in a cattle truck to Auschwitz, a Nazi death camp in southern Poland. On arrival, the Nazis separated Otto Frank from his wife and daughters without allowing them to say goodbye. Mrs. Frank, Anne, and Margot were sent to women's section of the camp where Mrs. Frank eventually died from exhaustion. The Van Dons and the dentist also lost their lives at the camp. 19. Why does the writers call Anne a courageous leader? Anne Frank is often regarded as a courageous leader for several reasons. One is bravery in adversity. Anne exhibited remarkable bravery and resilience while living in hiding during the Nazi occupation. Despite the constant threat of discovery, she maintained her spirit and hope. 2. Emotional strength. She provided emotional support to her family and others in hiding. Her diary entries reflect her maturity and ability to cope with the dire situation. Third one is voice of a generation. Through her writing, Anne became a symbol of the suffering and perseverance of the Jews during the Holocaust. Her words have inspired countless people worldwide, highlighting her ability to lead through her voice and experiences. 4. Enduring legacy. Even after her death, Anne's diary has continued to educate and move people, proving her lasting impact as a leader. Her courage, strength, and unwavering hope in the face of unimaginable adversity make her a beacon of leadership and inspiration. 20. Paragraph 18 gives a vivid picture of Anne's last day in the concentration camp. We go to all the details of her pathetic physical state. Anne Frank's physical state in her last days at the concentration camp. Anne Frank's diary and the historical accounts describe her as being in a very weakened and emaciated condition due to the harsh and inhuman conditions at the camp. She suffered from malnutrition, exhaustion, and illness, which were common among the prisoners. The lack of proper food, hygiene, and medical care contributed to her to deteriorating death. Anne's physical state was a reflection of the brutal and dehumanizing treatment that many Jews endured in the concentration camps during the Holocaust. If you need more specific details, I recommend referring to the text directly. 21. When and where did Mike find Anne's diary? After the Franks family was arrested in August 1944, Mike Gies, one of the helpers who supported the families in hiding, went to the secret annex and found Anne's diary along with other papers scattered on the floor. Mike discovered the diary at the hiding place in Otto Frank's office building in Amsterdam, and she safeguarded it until after the war. Otto Frank, Anne's father and the sole survivor of the family, eventually published the diary, sharing Anne's powerful and moving words with the world. 22. Writer says that if Mike and had read Anne's diary, she would have destroyed it. Why does the writer think so? The writer suggests that if the Geese had read Anne's diary, she would have destroyed it to protect everyone involved. The diary contained detailed accounts of the people in hiding, their helpers, and their activities, which could have been dangerous if they fell into the wrong hands. Mike might have felt that destroying the diary was necessary to prevent further harm or repercussions. Ultimately, by not reading the diary, Mike preserved a vital historical document that would later give a voice to Anne's experiences and become an important testimony of the Holocaust. 23. Why does Mr. Frank take many weeks to finish reading the diary? Otto Frank, Anne's father, took many weeks to finish reading her diary due to several deeply emotional and personal reasons. One is emotional weight. The diary contained intimate and painful details about the family's life in hiding and Anne's thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Reliving these memories was undoubtedly heart wrenching for Otto, as it brought back the trauma and the loss of his family. 2. Grief and loss. As the sole survivor, Otto was grappling with the immense grief of losing his wife and daughters. Reading Anne's words filled with hope, dreams, and resilience would have been a poignant reminder of the vibrant young girl he lost. 3. Processing the content. The diary was not just a record of their time in hiding, but also the testament to Anne's growth, maturity, and reflections. Otto likely needed time to process and absorb the deep and significance of her writing. Fourth, perseverance of memory. By taking his time, Otto honored Anne's memory and ensured that he fully appreciated and understood her perspective, giving her the attention and respect she deserved. 24. What became the mission of Mr. Frank's life? Mr. Otto Frank, the father of Anne Frank, after the tragic loss of his family during the Holocaust, Otto Frank's mission became the perseverance and dissemination of Anne Frank's diary. He dedicated himself to ensuring that Anne's voice was heard around the world and that her experiences could serve as a poignant reminder of the horrors of war and the importance of tolerance and the human rights. Otto Frank was deeply committed to educating future generations about the consequences of discrimination and hatred, making Anne's story a powerful tool for promoting understanding and preventing such atrocities from happening again. 25th. How did Mr. Frank spend the money he got from publishers? Otto Frank, Anne Frank's father, used the royalties from the publication of the Anne's diary to support humanitarian causes. He felt that these causes would have been approved by Anne herself. His dedication to preserving Anne's legacy and promoting tolerance and human rights was reflected in how he chose to spend the money. 26. How did the German audiences respond to the tragic play of Anne Frank? The German audiences responded to the tragic play of Anne Frank with a profound sense of remorse and reflection. When the play, The Diary of Anne Frank, was performed in Germany, it evoked a powerful emotional reaction. Many audience members were deeply moved and shaken by the portrayal of Anne's story and the horrors of the Holocaust. In some theaters, the audience sat in a stunned silence, unable to applaud or even move during the intermission. This reaction was a testament to the impact of the play and the deep sense of shame and sorrow felt by many Germans as they confronted the painful history of the Nazi era. 27. How did the diary of Anne Frank succeeded where German administrators had failed? The diary of Anne Frank succeeded in ways that German administrators had failed by humanizing the victims of the Holocaust and fostering empathy and understanding among readers. While German administrators struggled to confront and address the atrocities committed during the Nazi era, Anne Frank's diary provided a personal and relatable account of the horrors faced by Jews during the Holocaust. The diary widespread publication and translation into numerous languages allowed it to reach a global audience, making Anne's story a powerful tool for education and remembrance. It helped to break down barriers of denial and ignorance, encouraging people to reflect on the past and work towards a more tolerant and just society. By sharing her thoughts, fears, and hopes, Anne Frank's diary succeeded in creating a lasting impacting that continues to resonate with readers today. 28. Why did the people of Berlin choose her name for Anne Frank home? The people of Berlin is a city in Germany, choose to name the Anne Frank Gentrum after Anne Frank to honor her memory and the powerful impact of her diary. The Anne Frank Gentrum in Berlin serves as a place of learning and reflection, focusing on the history of Socialism and Holocaust. By naming the center after the Anne Frank, they aim to keep her story alive and use it as a tool to educate future generations about the importance of the tolerance, human rights, and the consequences of discrimination and hatred. Anne Frank's diary has become a symbol of the resilience and the courage of those who suffered during the Holocaust. And the center in Berlin helps to ensure that her legacy continued to inspire and educate people from all the walks of life. B. Close study. Read the following extracts carefully. Discuss in pairs and then write the answers to the questions given below them. 1. I have read Anne Frank's diary. A. Who is the speaker? The speaker of the statement, I have read Anne Frank's diary, is Professor. B. To which question is the statement an answer? This statement could be an answer question as, and how do you know that the human race is worth saving? An argumentative young student once asked his professor, C. What does the speaker imply in this statement? By saying, I have read Anne Frank's diary, the speaker implies that there are families with Anne Frank's experiences and the content of her diary. This statement suggests that the speaker has gained knowledge about the Holocaust and Anne Frank's personal account of her life in hiding during World War II. It also indicates that the speaker may be able to discuss or reflect on the themes and messages conveyed in the diary. 2. In spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. A. Whose words are these? A. These words are from Anne Frank, written in her diary, the diary of Engel. B. What does everything refer to? B. Everything refers to hardships and suffering Anne Frank experienced while hiding from the Nazi Nazis during the Holocaust. It encompasses the fear, oppression, and atrocities she and her family faced, as well as the broader context of the war and persecution of Jews. See what quality of the speaker is revealed here. See, this statement reveals Anne Frank's unwavering optimism and her belief in fundamental goodness of people despite the horror she endured. It shows her resilience, hope, and compassionate outlook on humanity. Anne's ability to maintain such a positive perspective in the face of adversity highlights her extraordinary strength of character. Third main, paragraph writing. Discuss in groups of four each and answer the following questions. Individually note down the important points for each question and then develop the points into one paragraph answers. 1. How did Anne's diary open the eyes of the Germans to viciousness of racial persecution? Anne Frank's diary had a profound impact on Germans by providing a personal and intimate account of the horrors of racial persecution during the Holocaust. Here are some important points you can consider for your group discussion and individual notes. First is personal perspective. The diary offered a first hand, relatable account of daily struggles and fears faced by a young Jewish girl and her family in hiding. Two is humanizing the victims. Anne's candid and the heartfelt entries humanized the victims of the Holocaust, moving beyond statistics to real personal stories. Third one is emotional connection. It's emotional. Readers could form an emotional connection is missing here. Emotional connection with Anne, making the atrocities of the Holocaust feel more immediate and real. Fourth one is moral reflection. The diary prompted Germans to reflect on their own society's actions and the consequences of discrimination and hatred. Fifth one is educational tool. Anne's diary became a powerful educational tool used in schools to teach about the Holocaust and the dangers of prejudice. You can develop these points into paragraph like this. Anne Frank's diary played a crucial role in opening the eyes of the Germans to the viciousness of the racial persecution by offering a deeply personal perspective on the Holocaust. Through Anne's candid and the heartfelt entries, readers were able to humanize the victims and from an emotional connection with her story, moving beyond mere statistics to the real life experiences of those who suffered. This emotional connection prompted moral reflection among Germans, leading them to confront the actions of their society and the devastating consequences of discrimination and hatred. Moreover, the diary served as a powerful educational tool used in schools to teach about the Holocaust and the dangers of prejudice, ensuring that Anne's story would continue to resonate with the future generations. So, from our study of this write up, what do you understand about Anne Frank's mind and the heart? Here are some important points regarding Anne Frank's mind and heart: optimism and hope. Despite dire circumstances, Anne remained hopeful and optimistic about the future, believing in the goodness of people. Maturity and insight. Anne's diary entries reflect a level of maturity and insight beyond her years as she grapples with the complex emotions and thoughts. Empathy and compassion. Anne showed deep empathy and compassion for others, understanding their struggles and offering kind words. Love for writing. Her passion for writing is evident throughout the diary, as she used it as an outlet for her thoughts and emotions. Resilience and strength. Anne's resilience and strength shine through her ability to maintain a positive outlook and find joy in small moments, even in face of adversity. You can develop these points into a paragraph like this. From the study of Anne Frank's write-up, it becomes clear that she possessed a remarkable mind and heart. Despite the harrowing circumstances she faced while in hiding, Anne remained hopeful and optimistic, believing in the fundamental goodness of people. Her diary entries reveal a level of maturity and insight beyond her years, as she navigated complex emotions and thoughts with remarkable clarity. Anne's empathy and compassion for others are evident, as she understood their struggles and offered kind words of support. Her love for writing is a constant theme, serving as an outlet for her thoughts and emotions. Ultimately, Anne's resilience and strength shine through. She maintained positive outlook and found joy in small moments, even amidst the darkness of her situation. Third one is, what glimpses of Nazi cruelty do you see in this write up? Here are some important points regarding the glimpses of Nazi cruelty in Anne Frank's write ups. One is persecution and oppression. The constant fear and oppression faced by Anne and her family while in hiding. Two, dehumanization. The systematic dehumanization of Jews, stripping them of their rights and dignity. Three is violence and brutality. The violent and brutal actions taken by the Nazis against Jews and other mm, marginalized groups. Four is forced hiding. The necessity for Anne and her family to go into hiding to avoid capture and deportation. Five is the loss of freedom. The loss of basic freedoms and the constant threat of being discovered and sent to the concentration camps. You can develop these points into a paragraph like this. Anne Frank's write up provides several glimpses of Nazi cruelty, highlighting the persecution and oppression faced by Jews during the Holocaust. The constant fear and the oppression experienced by the Anne and her family, while in hiding, underscore the harsh reality of living under Nazi rule. The systematic dehumanization of Jews, stripping them of their rights and dignity, is evident throughout her diary. The violent and brutal actions taken by ಏ ಅನುರಾಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರಪ್ಪ ನೀವು ಭಾಳ ಜೋರ್ ಒದರ್ಲಿಕತ್ತೀರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕತ್ತದ ನನಗ The systematic dehumanization of Jews and stripping them of their rights and dignity is evident throughout her diary. The violent and brutal actions taken by the Nazis against Jews and other marginalized groups are also apparent. The necessity for Anne and her family to go into hiding to avoid capture and deportation further illustrates the severity of the situation. Ultimately, the loss of basic freedoms and the constant threat of being discovered and sent to concentration camps reveal the extent of Nazi cruelty during his dark period in history. Fourth one is vocabulary exercises. Give one word substitutes for the following. Look for the words in the lesson. One is the stage of life between childhood and adulthood, adolescence. Second is accusing somebody officially about something, indictment. Third one is the name that is not made public, anonymous. Fourth one is treating somebody in a cruel way because of their race, their political or religious beliefs, persecution. Fifth one is to leave one's own country and to go live in permanently in another, emigrate. Sixth one is an order having the force of law, decree. Seventh one is a building that is added to a larger one, annex. Eighth one, forcing somebody to leave a country because they have no legal right to be there, deportation. Ninth one, the state of being extremely tired, exhaustion. Tenth one, to see that something is going to happen in the future, foresee. B. Fill in the blanks with appropriate form of words given in brackets. One is Gandhiji, more than any other leader, symbolized India's struggle for freedom. Two, I don't like his argumentative nature. Third one, the people gave a rapturous welcome to their hero. Fourth, the standard of living of many laborers remains pitifully low. Fifth one, the landscape was covered with autumnal mist. Six, the authenticity of the document is beyond doubt. Seventh, the rising tides looked ominous. Eighth one, the civic authorities should be responsive to the needs of the people. Ninth, he was awarded prize for being the most promising cricketer of the year. Tenth, such a simple occurrence has been dramatized by the media. Fifth one, language activities. The letter writing assume that you are a child like Anne Frank who is in secluded place living with the fear of being killed. Write a letter to your friend about your life. Dear Sita, I hope this letter finds you safe and well. I wanted to share with you a bit about my life in this secluded place, away from the outside world. Life here is quite different from what I was used to. We live in a constant fear of being discovered, and the days seem to blur together. We have to be very quiet and careful, as even the slightest noise could lead to our hiding place being found. It's strange to live with this kind of fear, always looking over our shoulders, never knowing what tomorrow might bring. Despite the fear, we try to make the best of our situation. We have found small ways to bring a bit of normalcy and comfort into our lives. We read books, play games, and share stories to keep our spirits up. Sometimes we even manage to laugh and forget, just for a moment, about the dangers lurking outside. I miss the freedom we once had, the ability to go outside and feel the sun on our faces. I miss our friends, school, and all little things we took for granted. But most of all, miss you. I often think about the times we spent together, and it gives me strength to keep going. Please take care of yourself and stay safe. I hope that one day we will be able to reunite and enjoy simple pleasure of life once more. Until then, know that you are always in my thoughts and prayers. With love, Pooja. B. Frequency words. 1. Put the following frequency words, adverbs on the steps from not at all to every time, sometimes, now, and then often, always, usually, occasionally, never, rarely, hardly, ever, not often. This starting from not at all, then comes never, hardly ever, rarely, not often, occasionally, now and then, sometimes, usually, often, always, every time. Second main, fill in the blanks using the above words. First one is Rekha is afraid of flying. So she has never traveled on a plane. She always goes by train instead. B. I met Ramesh sometimes at the sports club, but I don't see him often. C. It often snows in Kashmir. It never snows in Bengaluru. D. Rashmi. How often do you buy new clothes? Prema. Well, rarely. I can only afford to buy clothes occasionally. E. Usually, I have no problem studying, but sometimes I start to feel sleepy if I read a long time. Collocations. Collocation in language refers to a regular combination of words. It is a convention of what goes with what. For example, we say tell a lie, not speak a lie, lie. Collocates with tell, not with a speak. One is put the words in the following box in appropriate columns given below. A noise, homework, a good time, a present, some exercise, fuss, a go, a disturbance, home, a mistake, a word with someone, the dishes, to college, a time to do something, crosswords, a decision, your best, a university, courage, an illness, a will, a guess, a swim, wet, a university degree, profit, lunch, an offer, my teeth, a wash, tired, a drink, the cooking, married, breakfast, nice time, a shower bath, commerce at college, your bed, movies, angry. Here is the list. Do homework, do the dishes, do the cooking, do commerce at college, do your bed, do crosswords, do your best, do a mistake, do some exercise. Make a noise, make a fuss, make a decision, make a disturbance, make a profit, make an offer, make a guess, make a will, make a university degree. Get home, get tired, get married, get a present, get wet, get a go, get a university, get an illness, have a good time, have a word with someone, have a time to do something, have a courage, have a nice time, have a lunch, have a drink, have breakfast, have a swim, have a shower, have a bath, have movies. 2. Complete the sentences using the verbs make, do, or take. In many cases, you need to change the form of the verb. First one is they are making. They are is there, that's why making it is making a lot of noise, but so far they haven't made any progress. Second one, the company is making a large profit. But in the meantime, they are is there, that's why it is doing. ING is coming here. A lot of damage to the environment. Third one is Esther was asked to make a quick meal, but she took her own sweet time. Fourth one, after we have done our homework, I think we should do the washing up. Fifth one, take a look at all these mistakes you have made. Sixth one, shall we take a taxi or go by train? Seventh, at first, he made a great effort to take an interest in his lessons. Eighth, this is a photograph I took of some friends we have made when we were on holiday. Ninth, she told me to take a seat and then went to make some phone call. 10th, taking a test is a bit like doing a crossword. You finish it eventually. 11th, the policeman took my name and address and made a few notes. 12th, we had to do a lot of work before we begin to make any money. 13, the conference will take place in January. 14, you really should take my advice and hire somebody to do your ironing and washing and other housework. 15th, after I had made the bed, he lay down and took his medicine. 16. I won't do any harm to make some inquiries. 17. Our company made a loss in its first year, but now we are doing well. D. Diary entry. A diary is a record, originally in handwritten format, with discrete entries arranged by date, reporting on what has happened over the course of a day or some other period of time. The personal diary may include a person's experiences and or thoughts or feelings, including comments on current events outside the writer's direct experience. Someone who keeps a diary is known as a diarist. A diary is written in first person, and the language used is conversational, friendly, and informal. Go through the examples below. First one is Marga and I were sent out of the room. Van Don wanted to talk to Mummy alone. When we were alone together in our bedroom, Marga told me that the call up was not for Daddy, but for her. I was more frightened than ever and began to cry. Marga is 16. Would they really take the girls of that age away alone? But thank goodness she won't go. Mommy said so herself. What must be what Dad meant when he talked about us going hiding? 2. Life in Sarajevo, Monday, 29 June 1992. That's my life. The life of an innocent 11-year-old schoolgirl. A schoolgirl without school, without the fun and excitement of school. A child without games, without friends, without the sun, without birds, without nature, without fruit, without chocolate or sweets. Just a little powdered milk. In short, child without a childhood, a wartime child. I now realize that I am really living through a war. I am witnessing an ugly, disgusting war. God, will this ever stop? Will I ever be a schoolgirl again? Or will I ever enjoy my childhood again? There are no trees to blossom and no birds because the war has destroyed them as well. There is no sound of birds twittering in springtime. There aren't even any pigeons, the symbol of Sarajevo. No noisy children, no games. It's as if Sarajevo is slowly dying, disappearing. Life is disappearing. So, how can I feel spring? And spring is something that awakens life, and there is no life. Here, everything seems to have died. Thursday, 19th November 1992. I want to understand this stupid politics because I know that politics caused this war. It looks to me as though these politics mean Serbs, Croats, and Muslims, but they are all people. They are all the same. They look like people. There's no difference. They all have arms, legs, and heads, and they walk and talk. But now there's something that wants to make them different. Saturday, 17th July 1993. Suddenly, unexpectedly, someone is using the ugly powers of war, which horrify me, to try to pull and drag me away from the shores of peace, from the happiness of wonderful friendships and love. I feel like a swimmer who was made to enter the cold water against her will. I used to rejoice at the sun, at playing at songs. In short, I enjoyed my childhood. I had no need of a better one. Now I have less and less strength to keep smiling, keep swimming in these cold waters. So take me back to the shores of my childhood, where I was warm, happy, and content. Here is some information about another famous woman, Maria Montessori. Use the information and write paragraph. Born in 1817 Italy, first woman graduate in the medicine from Rome University, became a famous teacher and the educator, thought of a new ideas in teaching, wrote two remarkable books on teaching young children, died in 1952. Maria Montessori, born in 1817 Italy, was a pioneering figure in education and medicine. She made history as the first woman to graduate in medicine from Rome University, breaking barriers for women in academia. Montessori's passion for the education led her to become a renowned teacher and the teacher educator, where she introduced innovative ideas in teaching. Her groundbreaking work focused on the child centered education, emphasizing hands on learning and the development of child's natural curiosity. She authored two remarkable books on teaching young children, which laid the foundation for Montessori method, now used in schools worldwide. Maria Montessori's legacy continues to inspire educators and remains a testament to her visionary contributions to the field. She passed away in 1952, leaving behind lasting impact on education. Now we call the Montessori schools are there. Even the first the child admits, now the Montessori is called, and then start the LKG. That is named after this Miss Montessori. Sixth one, speaking activity. A is introducing yourself, pair work, speak to your partner for 2 minutes each about A, each member of your family, whom you like the most and why. B, what you want to do, become in life. C, your interest or hobbies, your strength and weaknesses. Some example is here. You have to write your own experiences. Each member of your family whom you like the most and why. In a family, there are four members: my parents and sister, and the person himself or herself. The person I like the most is that he always describes positive quality such as supports me, makes me laugh, or inspires me. B. What you want to do, become in life. In the future, I aspire to become an artist. I'm passionate about this path because I love creating. I'm currently working towards this goal by painting. See your interest or hobbies. I have several interests and hobbies that keep me engaged and happy. I enjoy reading, playing sports, painting, and coding. One of my favorite hobbies is playing football, which I love because it allows me to express myself. It's challenging and it's relaxing. I also spend my free time cooking. Your strengths and weaknesses. When it comes to my strengths, I believe I am organized, determined, creative, and empathetic. On the other hand, one of my weaknesses as a procrastination, perfectionism, or shyness. Reporting oral. First one is last week there was a debate on the advantages and disadvantages of watching television. Vivek spoke on its advantages, Satish spoke about the disadvantages. They gave the following arguments. This is Vivek and Satish. Vivek is telling watching television stimulates thinking. It kills conversation, said Satish. It was a debate. Once one person is speaking to that point and the person is commenting, like this, the discussion is. It keeps the family together. It ruins family interaction. It keeps you well informed. It makes you uncritical. It brings the outside world into your room. It keeps you away from the real world. It presents everything in the interesting way. It has ruined the reading habit. It is a good babysitter. It makes children passive. Can you now report the debate to your classmates? Okay. Debate report. Advantages and disadvantages of watching television. Last week, we had an engagement debate on topic of watching television and its impact on our lives. Vivek presented the arguments in the favor of watching television, while Satish highlighted the disadvantages. Vivek's arguments. Vivek argued that watching television has several benefits. Firstly, he mentioned that it stimulates thinking and keeps viewers well informed about current events and the world around them. He also pointed out that television can bring the outside world into our rooms, presenting everything in an interesting and engaging way. According to Vivek, television keeps families together as they gather to watch shows and movies. Additionally, he mentioned that television can serve as a good babysitter, keeping children entertained and occupied. Satish's arguments. On the other hand, Satish highlighted the negative aspects of watching television. He argued that it kills conversation and ruins family interaction as people tend to focus on screen instead of talking to each other. Satish also mentioned that television can make viewers uncritical as they passively consume information without questioning it. He pointed out that watching television keeps the people away from the real world and has ruined the reading habit. Lastly, Satish argued that television makes children passive, as they spend hours sitting and watching instead of engaging in physical activities or creative play. C. Interview. Pair work. Imagine that you are the HM of your school. A lady has applied for the post of accountant in your school. You are interviewing her. Complete the following questions and answers. Then role play this with your partner. I'll show you the typed and ready answers here. Miss Jane, knocking softly on the door. May I come in, sir or madam? HM, yes, please come in. Please be seated. Miss Jane, thank you. HM, you are Miss Jane, aren't you? Miss Jane, yes, that's correct. HM, could you tell me about your qualifications? Miss Jane, certainly, I have a bachelor degree in commerce and I'm also certified chartered accountant. HM, that's impressive. What about your experience, Miss Jane? I have over 5 years of experience working as an accountant in various educational institutions, managing financial reports, budgets, and audits. HM, excellent. Do you have any knowledge of computer software, especially Tally? Miss Jane, yes, I'm proficient in using Tally for accounting purposes. I also have experience with other accounting software like QuickBooks and SAP. HM, where are you currently staying? Miss Jane, I'm currently residing in your locality city. It is a quite convenient for commuting to the school. HM, that's good to hear. What are your interests and hobbies? Miss Jane, I enjoy reading and staying updated on financial news. I also like to play badminton and volunteer at the local community events during my free time. HM, what are your salary expectations for this position? Miss Jane, based on my qualifications and experience, I'm expecting a salary in a range. Tell whatever you're expecting. However, I'm open to discussion. HM, good. Thank you for coming, Miss Jane. We will get back to you in a couple of days, Miss Jane. Thank you for your opportunity. I look forward to hearing from you. Work in pairs. Divide the following words into three groups according to the pronunciation of the vowels. Use the dictionary if necessary. Per, dear, deer, bird, nearly, earth, rare, what, where, work, fierce, glare, short, fair, church, chair, dirt, cheer, beer, rear, gear, wear, weary, girl. Here it is how the fur is pronounced. Fur, fur. It is beer. Okay, rare, like these pronunciations. A, rare. It is beer, bear. Per, bird, pronunciation are same. The R pronunciation are same here. Bird, earth, word, work, shirt, church, dirt, girl. Then beer, dear, nearly, fierce, cheer, beer, rear, gear, weary, rare, bear, rare, wear, glare, fair, chair, wear. 10th, ninth main grammar revisited uses of the models. A. Look closely at the following pairs of sentences. The difference between the sentences A and B is not so much in the meaning as in the degree of probability, of formality, of politeness, etc. Go through the notes on the model given in the appendix 3 before doing the following exercise. In pairs, discuss the following pairs of sentences and answer the questions given below. Then, first one. A. Will you do me a favor? B. Would you do me a favor? Which of the two sentences is more polite? In this pair of sentences, sentence B, would you do me a favor, is more polite. The use of would softens the request and makes it sound more considerate and less direct compared to will. Answer is B here. 2. A. Ramesh can eat 10 chapatis. B. Ramesh could eat 10 chapatis. Which of the two may suggest that Ramesh is no more young and energetic enough to eat 10 chapatis? Answer is B. Ramesh could eat 10 chapatis. May suggest that Ramesh is no longer young and energetic enough to eat 10 chapatis. The use of could indicates that his ability may have been in past, implying a change in Ramesh's current capability. Third one, A. My father will go to Mumbai next week. B. My father is going to Mumbai next week. Which of the two may suggest that my father has already a train reservation? Sentence B is the answer. My father is going to Mumbai next week. May suggest that your father has already made a train reservation. The use of the present continuous tense is going to often implies that plans are already in place and arrangements have been made. Fourth one. A. My tea was already sweetened, so I didn't need to add any sugar. B. My tea was already sweetened, so I needn't have to add any sugar. In which of these two was the tea too sweet? Sentence A. My tea was already sweetened, so I didn't need to add any sugar suggests that speaker recognized the tea was sweet enough and choose not to add more sugar. This implies the tea was sweet, but not necessary to sweet, too sweet. B. My tea was already sweetened, so I needn't have to add any sugar. Implies that the speaker added sugar without realizing it was unnecessary, possibly making the tea too sweet in the end. Therefore, the sentence B indicates that the tea might have been too sweet. Fifth one. A. Can I come in? B. May I come in? Which of the two would you use in not so formal situation? In not so formal situation, you would use sentence A. Option A. Can I come in? Use of can is more casual and commonly used in everyday conversations, whereas may is more formal and polite. It is informal. Can I come in? May we use in formal way. Can is informal. Sixth one is option A, you will come and see us again. Option B, you may come and see us again. Option C, you should come and see us again. Option D, you must come and see us again. Which of the four above expresses suggestion, obligation, prediction, and permission? First one is suggestion. That is a C, you should come and see us again. Second is obligation, you must come and see us again. Some order is there in that. Third one is prediction. You will come and see us again. Fourth one is permission. You may come and see us again. Seventh one, A. I must be there at 10 o'clock. B. I have to be there at 10 o'clock. Which of the two would suggest that there is some pressure from my boss to be there by 10 o'clock? Sentence B is the answer. I have to be there at 10 o'clock suggests that there is some pressure from your boss to be there by 10 o'clock. Phrase have to often implies an external obligation or requirement, whereas must can convey a personal necessity or internal obligation. 8. A. I should work hard. B. I must work hard. Which of the two suggests a sense of duty? Sentence B. I must work hard suggests a stronger sense of duty. The word must convey the more urgent or obligatory tone, indicating that the speaker feels a strong necessity or responsibility to work hard. Ninth one. A. Joshua may come at home now. B. Joshua will be at home now. C. Joshua might be at home now. D. Joshua would be at home now. A. Joshua may be at home now. This sentence expresses possibility. It suggests that it's possible Joshua is at home, but it's not certain. B is Joshua will be at home now. This sentence expresses strong certainty or prediction. It suggests that Joshua is almost certainly at home at this moment. C is Joshua might be at home now. This sentence also expresses possibility similar to may. It suggests that it's possible Joshua is at home, but it's not certain. D is Joshua would be at home now. This sentence suggests a hypothetical situation or condition. It implies that Joshua would be at home under certain conditions or circumstances. X or 10th main A. Rearrange these four sentences in order of degree of probability from the most probable to the least probable. Last four sentences in the previous one. And next is option A, will I go abroad? B is option B is shall I go abroad? Which of the two would you use while asking questions to your astrologer? This is a different one. Answer for this is A is let's arrange the four sentences in order of degree of probability from the most probable to the least probable. First one is Joshua will be at home now, the strong certainty or prediction. Second is Joshua may be at home now, possibility. Third one is Joshua may be at home now. Possibility, slightly less probable than me. Fourth one is Joshua would be at home now. Hypothetical, it is. Then comes the next problem in regard to the asking your astrologer between will I go abroad and shall I go abroad? What question you should make exact question at that time. You would like to use will I go abroad as it seeks the prediction about the future, which is more common when consulting astrologer. Shall I go abroad is more about seeking advice or making a decision, which might not be the primary purpose of consulting an astrologer. While consulting astrologer, answer is will I go abroad? You should ask this question. Then B is the complete the following using the appropriate forms of the verbs given in the brackets. Bring is there, verb form, and with that helping verb you have to write here. The one, the prisoner was brought for the final verdict. Second one, wheat and the rice are produced in a small quantity in India. 3. Bharatanatyam is considered the best form of traditional dance of our country. Fourth one, mark is the currency that was used in Germany. Fifth, nowadays, smartphones and tablets are taking the place of computers. 11th, one with language. One is from the description given. Can you say which member of family is being referred to? A. Your uncle's father's only grandchild. See your uncle. Your uncle is your father's brother. His father is your father's father. Both are same. Your only grandchild. That grandfather's only grandchild is you only. B is your brother's son's sister's mother. This is your sister-in-law. Your brother's son's sister is same his sibling, and his mother is your brother's wife. Brother's wife is sister-in-law to you. See, your brother-in-law's wife's grandfather's daughter. Here, welcome back. Your brother-in-law's wife's grandfather's daughter is your brother-in-law means your husband's brother. Okay. Wife means your brother-in-law's wife. Wife's grandfather. Grandfather's daughter is this wife's mother. She is this wife person is the her mother. It is. D is your father's daughter's daughter. That is your cousin because father's father. Your father's father is grandfather. His daughter is sister to your father. Her daughter is cousin to you. Brothers and sisters have I none, but that man's father is my father's son. That man is your son. So, language riddles. A. Rich man died leaving behind 10 crore rupees to be shared between his sons. How much money did each son get? In this riddle, some information is missing. The riddle doesn't specify how many sons he had. If he had one son, the son gets the 10 crore rupees. If he had more than one, the amount each son gets would have depend on the number of the sons. B. How many alphabets are there in the English language? There is only one alphabet in the English language consisting of 26 letters. C. Where does Friday come before Wednesday? In dictionary, Friday F comes before Wednesday W. D. What starts with E and ends with E and has only one letter in it? That is envelope. Starts with E and ends with E. There's only one letter inside it. E. Which word is always spelled wrongly? This letter only. The word wrongly is always spelled wrongly. We don't pronounce it as wrongly. It is wrongly. W is silent here. F. Had I become a lawyer instead of doctor, I would have become rich. Am I a doctor or a lawyer? Here, you are a doctor because the sentence implies that you did not become a lawyer. G. Which month has 28 days? All months have 28 days. However, February is the month known for having exactly 28 days, 29 days in leap year. H. How many sounds are there in English language? There are approximately 44 sounds, phonemes in the English language, which include both vowel and consonant sounds. I. How many vowel sounds are there in English language? There are approximately 20 vowel sounds in English language, which include both monotones, in single vowel sounds, and diphthongs, combined vowel sounds. J. Mira ran away lest she married. Why did Mira run away? Mira ran away to avoid getting married. K. If you use same three letters in the same order before and after given letters, you will get an 11 letter word. What is that word? See, the word is underground. Okay. Here UND is here also UND. By adding UND before and after, UND, UND. ERGRO, you got. That is underground, you got. L. Why did the boy sit on his watch? Boy sat on his watch because he wanted to be on time. M. There is a four-letter word that, when printed in capital letters, reads the same side down and right to left. What is the word? Noon. Upside down, downside up, left to right, right to left. That is noon. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and save the playlist. Thank you very much. Bye bye.